right, so one of the nice things about liquid nitrogen being so cold is that you can use it for a ton of different things. Some of the main uses include using it for cryogenics or for like preserving things, preserving foods. You can also use it, it's becoming more popular to use it in the process of making ice cream, which is what we're going to do today. We're going to make some ice cream, right, Cal? Yeah, we're going to make some ice cream. Yeah, that's going to be fun. So ice cream has three main things that are part of its ingredients, right? Some sugar, some fat, and some flavoring. To get different types of ice cream like custard, custard uses... Yeah, buddy, we're gonna make some ice cream. The custard uses a emulsifier, typically like egg beaters or something like that. We're not gonna use that today. We're just gonna do some basic ice cream. All right, Cal? So let's go ahead and start adding in some of our ingredients here. Okay. So we need half a cup of sugar. This is sugar. Do you want to help dump the sugar in? Put it in the big bowl. Good job.
Okay.
All right, then we have to put in a whole one of these, half and half. So you want to help pour?
Yep.
Pour, pour, pour. Good job. Pour it all out. All right, good job. Yep, now we have to use a second one, and we don't need all of that one, though. All right. Doing a good job, Cal. All right. So now we are done with that. Now we just need to add in a little bit of our flavor. Yep, and we're going to be boring today. We're just going to make basic vanilla ice cream. So I have some vanilla flavor here.
This one?
Yep, this one. Okay, so we're going to pour into our spoon. Good job. A little bit more. And then pour it in. There we go. All right.
Oh, wait.
So we are all done with our ingredients. Now we just got to stir. Stir, stir, stir. Stir, stir, stir. Good job. So what we're trying to do right now is try to get all of the sugar dissolved, right, and all of the vanilla flavoring as well, get it spread out as much as we can. One of the things about normal ice cream is that it's put into just like a cooler that spins just to continue to stir it up and cool it down. That process can take as much as 20 minutes sometimes to make a batch of ice cream. Because of the slow cooling process, it actually makes slightly larger ice crystals in it. So that's why oftentimes store-bought ice cream is not quite as smooth. Yeah, as smooth and creamy as other types of ice cream are. So for this one here, we're going to be using the liquid nitrogen, which is going to cool it down so quickly that it's going to have extremely small granules of ice in there. All right. Cal, you ready for this?
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Let's go ahead, pour in some of our liquid nitrogen. Oops. Oh, my bad. Okay, here we go. All right. So it's important to kind of stop and then stir every now and then, because otherwise what you can have is you can have some of the parts of it get real solid real quick, and then you still have a bunch of it that's still liquid. As I'm stirring this right now, I can tell that, there you go, it looks kind of gross right now. So you can see all of the bubbles that are formed from the vaporizing liquid nitrogen. All right, this is still really liquidy though, so I'm gonna go ahead and pour some more liquid nitrogen in. Whoa, look at all of the bugs. All right, here we go. Let's stir, stir, stir. So right now what's happening is there's significant heat transfer that's coming from the half and half and being transferred to the liquid nitrogen. So all of the half and half and sugar and stuff that we poured in here before was about 200 degrees Celsius warmer than what the liquid nitrogen is. So what ends up happening is it transfers excess heat over to that liquid nitrogen, vaporizing it. So as you see here right now, we have a bunch of chunky stuff. We're gonna keep trying to stir this up here. Stir it up, try to transfer that heat evenly throughout. Yeah, we're gonna eat some of this in a little bit, buddy.
Yeah.
It's gonna be really yummy.
Yummy.
Yummy, yummy.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna pour just a little more liquid nitrogen in here to finish this up then. All right, just a little bit more of this, Cal. Here you go. Oh, do you see some of it splashing out?
Careful.
Yeah, is it chili? That's chili. Just make sure you don't touch the bowl.
Oh, oh.
Yep, don't touch the bowl. All right. So any ice cream that's made using liquid nitrogen is safe to consume after you stop seeing the fog being produced. As long as there is some kind of fog that's being produced from there, that means that there is some liquid nitrogen that's still there, which means that it would be too cold for you to consume. All right. I think the next thing that we got to do, Cal, is eat some ice cream, right? Yeah.